Donald Trump fined $350 million in the civil business fraud trial and is also banned from doing any sort of business in New York for 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this case, as most of you with a working brain knows, this case is just as big of a sham as all the rest of them. This one, though, it's in particularly heinous because Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, they get sideswiped in this. Which, go after the guy. Okay, you don't like him, and I'm not talking about the Biden administration. I'll get to that in a minute. But if you don't like him, fine, whatever. Going after his kids, I would ask how much lower could the Democrats go, but I don't want to know the answer. I've seen the tweets. I've seen the TikToks. Democrats are willing to go very, very low. But anyway. So, in this article from the Daily Wire by Ryan Severda, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I do apologize if I butcher it. Great writer. Read a lot of his stuff. But anyway, former President Donald Trump was fined hundreds of millions of dollars in a civil fraud trial on Friday and was banned from running his businesses in the state for 3 years. Judge Arthur Engron, the former President Trump and Trump Organization, he ordered Trump and the Trump Organization pay more than $350 million in damages. Eric and Don Jr., they are banned from doing business in New York for 2 years with $4 million fines. And this was all brought on by New York Democrat Attorney General Letitia James. Now, this statute has never been used before in the state of New York because nobody has complained about it. A. 2, there's no victim in this crime. Everybody makes money. And third, every single real estate mogul does exactly what they are fining Trump for. This was a targeted prosecution. There is no way around it. There is no, gotta hold him accountable. Which, the same people that are saying Donald Trump needs to be held accountable are the same people that are making excuses for Joe Biden being completely and totally senile at the wheel, getting our men and women in uniform killed. It's those same people. It's the most annoying thing going on right now in politics. Oh, they're gonna hold President Trump accountable because he's a Republican. Okay, so what about Joe Biden and all of his crimes? He's never committed a crime. He's as clean as a driven snow. Right. And another New York business mogul, Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, on Shark Tank, he called Engron's ruling, it's un-American. And again, Mr. Wonderful, as per usual, in these cases are absolutely correct. Kevin O'Leary, smart businessman. He knows what he's doing. Kevin O'Leary went on to say that the fact that he was found guilty, you might as well find guilty every real estate developer on earth, O'Leary told the New York Post. I don't understand where someone got hurt. What developer doesn't ask for the highest price value for any building they've built? So he went on to say it's not healthy for the country. If this judgment sticks, every developer should be jailed. They must be found guilty. be put out of business. It's appalling, unjust, un-American. And he's absolutely correct. This is a targeted attack at Donald Trump at his bank account. Now, I believe Trump is making Truth Social go public, which is going to net him approximately $4 billion in stock. So, this judgment isn't exactly going to hurt him, because he can come up with the cash very quickly with Truth Social and this, and him. I think he's making it public. I could be wrong. You can fact check me on that in the comments. But yeah, this ruling is exceptionally dangerous. It's exceptionally vile. And to compound all of this, the state of New York has had a PR nightmare after nightmare after nightmare, where you have criminals being let back out on the streets, illegal immigrants coming in, beating up cops, let go the next day, as he's flipping everybody the bird and going on his merry way, only to be picked up later again for beating somebody else up to an inch of their life. And yet, you have New York DAs who are more concerned about Donald Trump than their actual constituents. You have judges that are looking just to get famous rather than uphold the law and enforce the law within the walls of their courtroom. This was a summary judgment on top of all of that. It was guilt. Donald Trump was presumed guilty before even taking a step in the courtroom. It was just a matter of how much was he going to have to pay. And this is going to be quite interesting when Donald Trump gets reelected in November and then takes office in January. Because if he can't do business in New York, and he's the president in charge of the executive branch, and who knows, maybe the Republicans hold control of the House of Representatives. Therefore, they control the purse. And, the Republicans are law-abiding citizens, and, since Trump is a part of the federal government, they're just going to have to pull all federal funding from the state of New York, because Donald Trump, one of the leaders of the federal government, can't do business in New York. That's not a whole lot of mental gymnastics there to make New York pay. And I am absolutely done with the whole, we gotta do this right and do it above the board and just equal actions back. No. In order to get these savage sorry excuses for human beings to learn, you have to hit them harder. That is why in Israel and in Gaza, go get them, IDF. Do not leave a single stone unturned. In order to get these kind of people to learn, you have to hit them 100 times harder than they have hit. And when Donald Trump gets back into office, he should pull the federal funding, all federal funding, from New York until they get their crap cleaned up. You have Letitia James going after Donald Trump for a victimless crime. Not even a crime. It's standard business procedure. You have Alvin Bragg going after Donald Trump for charges that the only thing that's a bigger stretch than these charges that Bragg's brought on Trump is Bragg's waistband. And to top all that off, Alvin Bragg, you know, that whole NYPD illegal immigrants beating the crap out of, that is Alvin Bragg's district. Alvin Bragg let those immigrants go after beating an NYPD officer to within an inch of his life, only for them to go off and do it again. That's Alvin Bragg. And I got a feeling New York's going to feel pain after this one. Because we now have truckers are organizing to refuse delivering and trucking into New York City after the fraud ruling. And, yeah, truckers, they're overwhelmingly Trump supporters. So, for all those New Yorkers who are communists, socialists, and think that supermarkets, grocery stores just pull meat directly out of their rear end and milk falling from the sky, yeah, you're about to get a hard lesson. So, in this article in the New York Post from by Patrick Riley of the New York Post, Trump supporting truckers are saying that they are refusing to drive to New York City after the former president was slapped with a $355 million fine in his fraud case last week. A conservative social media influencer and trucker who goes by Chicago Ray posted a video clip in which he claims that some of his colleagues are going to stop making deliveries to New York City to protest the ruling issued in the Manhattan Supreme Court District on Friday. I've been told, and this is from Chicago Ray, I've been on the radio talking to drivers about the past hour. I've talked to about 10 drivers, and they're going to start refusing loads to New York City starting on Monday. And, hey, at this point, I'm okay with collateral damage. People are going to have to learn the hard way. You get what you voted for, and you get it good and hard. And the fact of the matter is, the most crucial people in this country are truckers, first responders, police officers, military personnel, and your average grocery stores. The farmers. Those are the most important people in this country. Though those people are the difference between a civilized society and total chaos. And yes, I will throw school teachers in there as well. But you also have to have good parenting. But nonetheless, the most important people in this country, as I said, military personnel, first responders, police, truckers, farmers. Those people are what make this country run. Not the big CEOs. It's not politicians. It sure as hell isn't politicians. But it's these truckers. These police officers, the first responders, farmers, truckers. And they're all one entity. One stops, they're all going to end up stopping. Because one can't survive without the other. And New York's going to get a hard lesson that you would have thought they learned pre-Rudy Giuliani's term as New York governor. But lessons get forgotten. And so they're going to have to be retaught. I'm Dylan Hildreth. This is the Dylan Hildreth Show.